Alright, so this week we got Uncle Drew, which is a movie I don't really, I wouldn't typically watch, and I thought that, I want to see most movies come out in theaters, and this one, honestly, I laughed from the trailer, so I thought this looked interesting. I thought, whether it's good or bad, I might laugh a couple times, and I was thoroughly surprised. I laughed a lot in this movie. This movie actually, the movie was nothing to write home about, but man, this actually was really legitimately hilarious to me. I thought that all of these characters and all these actors really fit for this type of silly, goofy movie. You got Little Rel Howery, who I have only seen in Get Out, and he even mentions the movie Get Out in this movie, which I thought was a funny nod because he was in Get Out, but it's got a lot of great actors like Little Rel, Shaq, Tiffany Haddish, Nick Kroll, and all the other people who I don't know. I know they've been in other things, but I don't know them specifically from other things. So everybody's good in this movie. Everybody's really funny, but those couple I mentioned, I think, are the ones I know by name. And the movie is basically just Little Rel Howery's character is setting up this basketball team with Uncle Drew, who was a renowned player in the past. And I like how the movie at the beginning has this fictionalized thing about the NBA that Uncle Drew played, and how he was one of the best teams out there. And then there's a funny joke because the guy who's in the NBA logo in real life, he says in the movie "Oh, that wasn't me, that was just Uncle Drew," and they shaved off the dreads. So it has an animation of the dreads being cut off on the image of the NBA logo, and I thought that was a funny joke to make the movie connect to real life. I thought that was a great joke, and I thought that the humor in this, because of the people involved, it really worked. I thought it really sold me on just how funny these characters are. Little Rel is funny because he's just kind of this guy in the situation where he keeps getting shit on by everybody, by his girlfriend Tiffany Haddish, by Uncle Drew, and everybody who are trying to start this team, but they're difficult to deal with. And then Nick Kroll, who's awesome in this movie, where he is the villain, the other team, where he's trying to defeat Little Rel in the game. And I thought that he was great. And Tiffany Haddish, I want to mention her real quick. She's not in the movie enough because Tiffany Haddish is one of those actresses, one of those comedians that no matter what she's in, I lose it. Everything I've seen her in, she is comedic gold to me. She's fantastic. I love her. And in this movie, she's not in it enough, which sucks. I wish that she was in the movie more. But when she's in it, she's funny and she's great. But it sucks that she's not in it enough. And I understand why she's not, but I lost it with her, and I lost it too because Nick Kroll was so funny, and they made it to where at the beginning of the movie, Tiffany Haddish and Little Rel break up, so then it's Tiffany Haddish and Nick Kroll's character, and they both are together now, so they're mistreating Little Rel even more, which I thought made it more funny. The comedic timing with all these actors are good, and all the team, Little Drew or Uncle Drew's team, they're all funny. They're all funny characters, and the only one I know by name, actor name in real life, is Shaq, of course, and he's really funny. He's just the big guy who says dopey things, and I think that made it hilarious. And I thought that all the other little Uncle Drew's character team posse were really fun too. There's one guy in a wheelchair who you realize he gets out of the wheelchair because he wears his old shoes that he always wore every single game. Or the preacher who's got a crazy wife chasing after them, and that's funny too when the wife comes and chases them after from a church, because he's a preacher. That's funny jokes. I think that the jokes in this are nothing to write home about. They're nothing smart, but they're really funny. Because of these people, they really made me laugh a lot. And I really enjoyed this movie on that level. Like I said, it's nothing to write home about. It's nothing spectacular, but it really sold me on its humor. The characters were funny. The jokes really landed. Just the story is plain, but it's something you get out of the 90s in a 90s basketball movie, or 90s sports movie, which I thought was funny. But it's totally fine. It's totally a fine sequel a fine movie that was a great palate cleanser for me. Because usually I don't see as many comedies, and this one definitely not the best one I've seen this year. But overall, this is a comedy that, despite being very simple, I really enjoyed.